door-to-door vaccination squads could be coming to a house near you to give you the jab. At least this is what they're saying in the UK. Hello everyone, this is Mr. Obvious, and today on the internet, we've got a lot to talk about. The UK is currently discussing the possibility of door-to-door COVID vaccine squads, basically sending people to your house to get you the jab. In other news, Surgeon General Vivek Murthy of the United States warns that the COVID pandemic has sparked a huge spike in child suicides, saying that there is an epidemic of mental health. The children are going through a very hard time. Now we're going to talk about this, folks, and more. But before we do, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon for updates for future content, and share this video. I wasn't able to upload for a week because YouTube took down a 2.5-year-old video. But I'm back, folks, with a special event just for you. Introducing Webull Winter Special. Get 5 free stocks when you open an account and deposit any amount of money. That's right, my friends. You could get 5 stocks worth up to $2,000. All you have to do is open an account using the affiliate link down below and depositing any amount of money to your account. You will receive 5 free stocks, folks. It's basically free money. This is a limited time offer until the end of December. Join Webull today by clicking the affiliate link down below. And we're back. Let's jump right in. Door-to-door COVID jabs as Boris considers New Year restrictions but vows to keep schools open. Sage warns that the new Omicron wave hospitalizations could be higher than last winter. Here the story says, door-to-door teams armed with COVID jabs will be sent to the homes of unvaccinated Britons, in plans being considered by ministers to reach the estimated 5 million people yet to be inoculated. Discussions between the Department of Health, the NHS, and Number 10 over the past week have looked at a nationwide drive to send vaccine teams to areas with low uptake rates as a crucial way to avoid lockdown and other restrictions. So they're going around talking about literally sending teams of people to your home to give you a vaccine. You know, in my time growing up in school, we read a lot of books like George Orwell's 1984, Brave New World, Animal Farm, and I never thought that all of these things would come real all at once. Have you seen V for Vendetta? It's basically the same thing. The government uses the fear from a pandemic in order to install totalitarian control over the population, to install tyranny. Sounds very familiar to what's going on today. But we've got bigger problems that are being caused by all of this fear, by all of this manipulation. According to Surgeon General Vivek Murthy, the COVID pandemic has triggered an alarming spike in child suicides. Here the story says, U.S. General Dr. Vivek Murthy says he's alarmed by the rise in suicides among young people and says that COVID has caused a mental health crisis as parents rail against school closures and continued mask mandates. He says, quote, "I'm so concerned about our children because there is an epidemic, if you will, of mental health challenges that they've been facing. And it's partly because of the pandemic," Dr. Murthy, a father of 2, said on CNN's State of the Nation on Sunday. Now, is it any wonder these kids are depressed? The story goes on to say that schools have imposed draconian rules which force youngsters to sit masked and in silence during break times to try and minimize the chances of them catching or spreading COVID. Imagine being forced to sit down during lunch and recess and you're not allowed to talk. You just sit down with your mask, socially distanced. It's no wonder these kids are going crazy and becoming depressed. They're not talking to each other. They're not socializing. They're not seeing people's faces or expressions. This, my friends, is abuse. It is abuse of children and is the main driver, I would say, behind the increase of kids taking their own lives. It's a horrible thing and it needs to be addressed. And now for our last story of the day. The lamestream media is currently losing their minds over the "Let's Go Brandon" joke to Biden, with many outlets calling it a vulgar right-wing slur. You know, I find it very hilarious that for the past 5 years, Democrats and leftoids have said, "F Trump. F Trump. F Trump. There was that famous story of the woman who was riding her bike and gave the middle finger to Trump's car brigade. She won her election. She won her election to become a politician. The 1 year that right-wingers and conservatives say, let's go Brandon, they all lose their minds. Now, many of you heard about this. I made a video about it. But the dad who said, let's go Brandon to Joe Biden is now receiving death threats. He's saying he's being threatened for using his freedom of speech. Here the story says, the father of four who hurled the infamous conservative catchphrase, quote, let's go Brandon, at President Joe Biden during the NORAD Santa tracker event with the First Lady on Friday, says he was joking and is now being threatened for his freedom of speech. However, the father has since backtracked. I think this is weak. I think this is cowardly. If you're gonna say, let's go Brandon, don't be ashamed. Just say it. Own it. Don't back down if you're going to make a statement, is what I'm saying. Not that I support saying this or not. All I'm saying is stand by your words. Now, I've been seeing a lot of people talk about this story, and you have a lot of these leftoids on Twitter and Reddit saying freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom from consequences. I really hate that statement. And you know why I hate that statement? Well, not only is it a fascist and authoritarian statement, it's just completely wrong. Freedom of speech does mean freedom of consequences. When leftists say consequences, what they really mean is punishment. They're saying that your free speech doesn't mean I will not punish you. This is how they think. However, they are wrong. Freedom of speech does mean freedom from punishment. If you are punished for using your free speech, then you do not have free speech. This is what the leftoids don't understand. And he's not the only one getting canceled. Even the NASCAR driver, Brandon Brown, who accidentally sparked the Let's Go Brandon meme, is being canceled. He's not able to get sponsorships. He's going broke. Here, the story says, NASCAR driver Brandon Brown, who unintentionally sparked the phrase, Let's Go Brandon, says the popularity of the phrase has effectively killed his hopes of signing sponsorship deals. Brown, 28, started the national anti-Biden chant after NBC sports reporter Kelly Stavast confused the crowd jeering F Joe Biden for Let's Go Brandon at a NASCAR event in Alabama on October 2nd. So now this guy is having an impossible time finding sponsors. He's a Republican and he's basically being canceled. So yeah, that's a sad thing, but there you have it, folks. This is the world we're living in. Door-to-door COVID jab brigades, children completely depressed because they're not allowed to be children. I am not happy with the state of affairs. I think a lot of people are not. And that is why Let's Go Brandon is so popular in the first place. Joe Biden sucks. The Democrats suck. These authoritarian governments trying to force what people do with their bodies suck. But that, my friends, is merely the obvious. Well, that's all for now, folks. What do you think about this story? Let me know by commenting down below in the comment section. As always, support the channel by joining me on Patreon or Subscribestar. Joining will give you access to Fight Club, a private Discord server. As this channel is currently not monetized, it is supported by viewers like you. Thanks for watching, folks. I am back from my forced vacation. It's good to be back, happy to be able to upload again, and you're going to be hearing a lot more from me. But have a good day, folks. I'll see you all next time.